On today's episode, I'm going to show you one of my favorite products for waterproofing and air sealing your house. We're just getting into the stucco phase on this new construction Sips house, and I want to give you an overview today of the Delta family of both water and air sealing that we used on this house. These are all products by Casella Dorkin. So first, the heart of the system, and really an incredibly unique product in the marketplace, is this Delta Vent SA. I've used this a couple times before, and this is really a top-of-the-line premium product. And what separates this from other house wraps in the marketplace is this on the back. You can see this is a peel and stick product. We're actually going to peel the back of this house wrap off, and we're going to stick it onto the house. The big benefit there is, of course, it's going to waterproof us from this front side, but because it's sticking to the entire substrate, it's also providing a great air barrier for the house. In fact, we did a blower door test on this house prior to sheetrock, and we scored below 1 ACH 50, a very, very tight house. You notice when you feel a sample of this, it almost feels like a jeans material, very tough, very durable, definitely a commercial grade product. And they've thought of all the systems with this. Look, as we overlap seams, you've got another layer that you can peel and stick. That way you've got sticky on sticky. We've also got all the tapes and flashings that go along with this. I'm not going to get into how we install the windows with the Delta system, but I do want to mention they've got a phenomenal install guide. I highly recommend you get a copy of that. It's written by John Straub, a famous building scientist, and he's got all the conditions that you might face. Any windows, outie windows, flangeless, flanged, all the different varieties and flavors, and all the different claddings that you're going to see on the outside of the house. One of the best install guides I've ever seen. Next, let's talk about some of the tapes that come along with this system. You know, I'm super impressed with the Delta multiband, and I seem to find more and more uses for it all the time. If you saw the video I posted not too long ago about air sealing your foundation, this is one of the best things that I've figured out in just the last couple years, is how to seal that very critical joint between your house wrap and your foundation. And Delta multiband is the secret to that. A fantastic product. Next, let's talk about stucco on this house. You know, this Sips house is getting clad on the entire outside with a stucco. And we want to make sure that that stucco has an ability to both drain and dry to the outside. Stucco is in effect a sponge on the outside of your house. Every time it rains, that stucco is going to soak up that moisture, and we don't want that moisture getting into the house. We want it to dry harmlessly without hurting the house. How are we going to make sure that that happens over the next 100 years? This is a great way to do it right here. This is Delta Dry Stucco and Stone. This dimple mat material is plastic, and it has two sides that are going to dry independently. We've got a side that's up against our house wrap here, our Delta Vent SA, and then we've got a filter fabric on this side. This is where the stucco is going to get applied. That filter fabric keeps the holes from getting clogged up. And now, along with this bug screen at the bottom and bug screen at the top, I've got airflow back there. In effect, we're making a rain screen system out of our stucco install. I've seen so many stucco failures over the years, and between a bad house wrap install and a stucco that's like a sponge on the outside of your house, this system solves all those problems. This is really impressive, and this means that our stucco and our house are going to last for several generations. And the last part of the system that I want to mention is the Delta Fox. This is a vapor permeable roofing membrane that we can tape all the seams of the multiband so we can continue that air tightness all the way through the roof plane, but it's vapor permeable. If you've looked at some of the recent building science studies, you realize that we need a vapor vent at the ridge of our roofs, and this Delta Fox on the top of this house is going to do that for us. Very impressive product. We've really liked working with this Delta family. For more information, you can visit Casella Dorkin's website, or of course you can find more on this and the systems that I've used in the past on my YouTube channel. Thanks for joining me. We'll see you next time on The Build Show.